Hello and welcome back to another Villa View discussion show with me and Dan Bardell. This does replace our tea brew for the signing of Jedinak, so it's time for me and Dan. Hello Dan, you've suddenly arrived.
Hello Matt. How you doing?
I'm alright, yeah. Sorry, I just heard myself in the background and that was weird. So we're going to go into more discussion about the signing of Jedinak and what a big signing that can be for us, Dan. First of all, how big of a signing is it? It's obviously huge.
It's so big that I'm celebrating with an Australian beverage to celebrate this great signing for us. I think it's a great signing. I think it, once again, is the ilk of player that we need, a leader. I mean, I know he's into his 30s now, but he still could be a very important player, especially at this level. I mean, I think what's good is that we seem to be identifying players and actually managing to sign them, but the players that we're identifying have in the main got promotion or good championship experience. That's Elphick, Chester, and now Jedinak, who've been promoted in the recently. So for me, that's good news, and it's a very good signing.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the reaction from the Palace fans alone, to me, signals that we've got a really good player here. I think that, just to read a few of the main ones that I've found out from Palace fans. One Palace fan has said it's unbelievable and embarrassing. Shocking transfer, club legend who put his heart and soul into every game. We should feel ashamed. That's from one Palace fan. And to me, that sums up everything we need to know, really. The fact that so many fans are reacting this way, they're so strongly about it. He's a real big figure for us to have in the midfield. He's earned promotion, as you say. And to me, I think it's a great sign of things to come.
I mean, he's kind of the player we could have done with him last night, to be fair. I mean, when you looked at our bench last night, I mean, I think our first 11 is very good and very adept for the Championship now. I think that they'll go far, but we're obviously going to get injuries. We're obviously going to get suspensions. And I think we could have done with someone like him to call upon last night, because having 4 defenders on the bench, there wasn't really any way we could relieve the pressure or change what was happening. But it'll be a good sign. It's good to have a bit of competition as well, because I make it now that's how many central midfielders have we got? We've got him, Gardner, Westwood, Tishibola, and Lydon to come in. I think possibly we could do with one more central midfielder for me, but that's probably me being greedy. And I'm hoping that we don't sell Westwood, because we need that quality competition for places in there.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I think Westwood, I think he will stay. There's a lot of rumours suggesting we're going in for Amadou Diawara.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
I must admit, I don't know who he is. Bologna midfielder, obviously linked with Juventus and Napoli. I think we're just a bit of bait, to be honest, for that deal. But obviously, main one for me is the fact that Jedinak, I think it's a big signing for us. I think he turned down Stoke in January. So to get him now, I understand there is a bit of issues between Pardew and Jedinak, but still to get hold of him, I think it's a big step in the right direction. I think, as you say, it fills the big gap in midfield, essentially. I think he's a Claude Makelele role player, which we hadn't had. I think it's like when you played Lampard and Gerrard for England. There was too much of an imbalance. I think that's what we've had with Gary Gardner and Westwood, or Tishibola, whoever you play.
I could see Jedinak and Tishibola making a good partnership. They're both big. They've both got big frames. Bless you. They're both strong, and I thought Tishibola impressed me last night. Actually, I thought he had a really good game. I think his yellow card that he picked up in the second half held him back a bit, but generally I was very impressed with him. He's got some good attributes, and I think those two, or even if we change the system a bit, tweak the system a bit with those two and Westwood, who obviously offers more of a passing ability, I think it's good competition for places now, and that's what we need, because as I said, last night's bench was not strong enough to see out that game.
Well, the fact we had 4 or 5 defenders, was it 4 defenders on the bench?
Well, we had pretty much had a back 4.
Yeah, I think it was Baker, then Marvey, Richards, and Hutton.
No one wants to see him come on.
Yeah, it's awful, to be honest. I think that was maybe a signal from Di Matteo going, look, we need signings.
Yeah, I think Hepburn Murphy was possibly unlucky not to be involved on the bench last night.
Apparently,
I think he
was meant to be there, actually.
Well, what happened to him?
But apparently he was printed on all the team sheets, but then randomly wasn't on the thing. But apparently he turned up late. Don't know how true that is, but apparently he was late.
Wouldn't surprise me. I bet Di Matteo's quite hot on stuff like that.
So obviously we've said before this is replacing our T-Brew. So let me just run you down through some of the most important stats we can gather from Jedinak. One of the main ones for me is the fact that he was man of the match for Crystal Palace only on Saturday against West Brom, and it shows that he's still a competitive player. Obviously, it's only West Brom, but still a Premier League side, obviously.
They lost.
One of the main weaknesses apparently in Jedinak is his passing. not much of a concern, I wouldn't say, when there's somebody like Tishibola who can do that sort of stuff. When you got it, to me, it says the epitome of what a player is. It's the fact that he can't really pass well, but still every fan at Crystal Palace loves him for how good he's been for them.
If he's a brick wall in front of the defence, then hopefully he shouldn't have to rely on his long range passing or anything like that too much. You expect a professional footballer to be able to pass the ball short. I imagine at times he will literally just be sat in front of the back four. I mean, if you think about it, we've got a very attacking lineup at the moment with Grealish and Ayew on the flanks, and then Gusted and McCormack up front. That's a lot of attackers. So someone who can sweep up, I think, would be most welcome at the moment.
How would you go into the next game? If Jedinak has got his international clearance by Saturday's game, to me, I think we should go with a midfield three of Tishibola, Westwood and Jedinak, and then an attacking three of maybe McCormack, Ayew and Grealish, maybe.
I can't see Rudy getting dropped, to be honest. He's obviously he's got his 2 goals a week, and obviously I've never been a massive fan of him, but I've got to take my hat off to him really, because I think the last few games he has looked better, and maybe it's just a case of we've actually been playing to his strengths, which we weren't doing before. He's working hard, and he's actually seems to have maybe the coaching was a problem last season, because he actually seems to be moving around now, which was not happening last season. I think if you ask the Villa fans at the moment, I reckon a lot would say we should take Ayew out, but for me, that I don't think so. I think a lot of the good stuff he's doing is going unnoticed at the moment. I think just because he wears a frown most of the time, I don't think people actually realise that he does actually put in a very good shift, and he's a dangerous player. I think maybe his confidence is slightly lower than it should be, perhaps a bit of a hangover from last season, but I've got no doubt that he'll come good. And you've got to remember as well, he's playing out of position. He's not a winger in a 4-4-2. Ayew, he's a forward. Well, I think there isn't really much else to go there as it stands. I mean, people say about putting Adama there, but if there ain't going to be any work rate going back the other way with him there, and obviously Bakuna likes to come forward and he's better coming forward than our other right backs, I think we get eaten alive. I think it's about finding a balance, and I think Ayew does put a shift in, and I think that's perhaps why he is there.
Yeah. Well, let's move back to the fact that it is Jedinak we're talking about here mainly. So, who would you partner them? Would you say Tishibola? If you wanted to just say Tishibola and Jedinak, or maybe Westwood on the bench?
I don't know. It's difficult because everyone knows I actually like Westwood, and again, I think he's played well over the last couple of games. I think he played well against Sheffield Wednesday as well. I don't know. I don't think Jedinak will start Saturday. I think he'll be on the bench, but it's just good to have options. I mean, in a way, you're not going to have a best 11 that you play every week, because I mean, you saw last night playing 2 games in 3-4 days. The players tired in the second half, and there is going to be a massive element of rotation in the Championship. I mean, you've got Leiden as well to come in, who could offer some energy. I mean, he obviously knows Jedinak quite well by the comments we saw in the press yesterday. It's important to have options, and Jedinak will be a good role model for Leiden as well.
I'm hopeful that, I was just about to touch on that, I think that Leiden will come on leaps and bounds with Jedinak. 3 years, I can see him seeing out his career at Villa now, sorry about that, and potentially developing Leiden from that position as well. And I can honestly see Jedinak taking over as vice-captain from Micah Richards as well. I wouldn't put it past it happening.
I can't see Richards getting back in the team, in all fairness. I still think as the window drags on, I think panic stations set in with Premier League managers. I mean, you've seen it a bit today with Moyes being linked with taking Lescott to Sunderland. I think panic stations does set in a bit, and I think someone who's perhaps sure at the back will take a gamble on Richards. Jedinak's an ideal vice-captain, but then to be honest, I think McCormack's a bit of a leader as well, and I think James Chester slotted in well at centre-back. So a few of the new boys would probably be the main contenders for the vice-captaincy so far, over people that have been there a bit longer for me.
Yeah. So we've got a few sort of like comments that I'm going to read out to you. Will Jedinak take penalties? I don't know. Who takes penalties? Is it Ayew that takes penalties?
Ayew took the last one we had last Christmas.
Yeah.
We didn't get in the box too much last season, so there wasn't much chance of penalties happening. I'd imagine Ayew would have them, but I think McCormack take pens for Fulham as well.
Yeah. Either or, I'm not too worried about penalties anymore.
It'd be nice to get one.
Yeah. So Ben AVFC said, good for a good leader and steer the young players in the right direction. Lewis Wickham said, think he'd be a good player, regular player alongside Tishibola. The Gaming Jake has said he's beep, beep, beep. We need someone who's good enough to win the Champions League.
Okay.
Ron Vlaar, thanks for listening, Ron. Signing players with the right attitude, I like it. It's a shame you didn't have the right attitude, Ron, when you was at Villa.
He's probably got injured typing.
And that's all. Send in your questions as well. Tweet the Villa View, or obviously comment below your questions. It can be about anything to do with Villa. It can be about Jedinak. Now, there's a few more just over on Twitter. Go to now, and also a few other people. Obviously, a lot of disappointed Crystal Palace fans tonight for understandable reasons.
That's a good sign.
Disappointed, but they could be getting Benteke.
I'm sure that would certainly make up for it because I think he'd absolutely bang in the goals at somewhere like Palace, to be fair. I think that, again, I don't know why they don't just pay the money for him because they're going to end up paying it in the next few weeks anyway. They may as well do it now and get him in, as Connor Wickham can't be leading the front line for the whole season. I wouldn't have thought. I think one good thing that we can say about all these signings is that we're making signings that I would have been happy with last summer.
Yeah, I am, yeah. I think this could be a mid-table side in the Premier League, to be honest. Arguably, we need a bit more depth in there, but I think there's a good amount of players in there that if we was in the Premier League, we'd have a fighting chance of surviving. Easily.
I don't think we're finished with signings either. I can see. I think at the very least there will be 2 more signings. That's at least. I mean, apparently, I don't know how true this is. I read that Bamford was seen in the players' lounge last night or something. I don't know how true that was.
On the note of Bamford, would you want him?
He scored goals at Championship level, and I mean, we're going the route of buying proven people at Championship level, and he scored a lot of goals when he played at that level with Middlesbrough a few seasons ago. I think it was Middlesbrough. So he scored. Didn't he score 20 goals?
19 or something like that.
19. So he's obviously proven he can do it. And the other thing is with him, he's a bit different to what we have. I mean, I think he's a bit of an all-rounder. He's pretty good in the air. He's a good finisher as well. I mean, it hasn't worked out for him at the Premier League clubs, but on loan, I don't really see that as a risk at all. I mean, I think the guy himself probably needs to make a permanent move somewhere, because being at Chelsea and going on loan every season is no good.
I read that apparently the stumbling block was the fact that apparently Chelsea want 10 million permanent at the end of it. It's obviously a huge amount.
I think they'd be lucky if they got that, but then you see that Liverpool left back going to Bournemouth for 6 million, having barely ever played, so the prices are a joke at the moment. But I think we've spent our money well. 3 million on Jedinak is good. Apparently, there's more questions coming.
Yeah, we've had a few more. Just about to read them there.
Okay, sorry, I was taking over.
No, it's all right. If you can see the questions, aren't you, on your phone?
Nah, I got my iPad down next to me as well.
Go on then.
Multitasking.
Go on then. Go with the questions. What have we got?
Who would you swap Bamford for? No one at the moment.
Yeah, I was going to say, we haven't got that many options, have we?
I'd have him on the bench. I didn't think I'd ever be saying that. Yeah. I think he means who would he come in the team for?
I'd have him on the bench, or I might start him over Rudy, depending on Rudy's form.
I feel really fickle. That I've actually thought Rudy's been okay, considering I spent the whole of last season slagging him off, and I wouldn't take him out of the team at the moment. Whilst he's got a bit of confidence, because he looks like he can be a handful at that level. He could have scored last night if he'd have been a couple of inches taller. Harvey Busby's asked, who's your favourite player at the moment?
Who's asked what? Sorry.
Who's your Villa favourite player at the moment? I think we're going to have the same answer here.
Grealish.
And I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say Elphick.
Oh, Elphick, yeah.
At the moment, I just like his attitude.
I'm a big fan at the moment of the way they're all playing at the moment. I'm quite happy. I didn't think I'd say that, but I'm quite happy with the attitude they've shown as well. James Chester has impressed me a lot as well.
Yeah,
I think a lot of players have impressed me.
Yeah, they've been really good. I mean, you wouldn't know that Chester only signed last Friday the way he slotted in the last 2 games. I think he's been unbelievably deserves a lot of praise to have just slotted in, and I think that's the sign of a very good player when they do slot in seamlessly like that. But I like Elphick's attitude, and I think them too. Yeah. Plus we've got Baker's coming as well. I think we've got good central defenders at that level now. I don't know what's happened to Akore since his own goal. Actually, I do know what's happened to him. He's been bombed off, but he's still okay as a 4th choice, I guess. Just needs to get some confidence back.
You've got Kevin Toner in there as well, though, which I sort of feel sorry for him as well.
I think 4th or 5th centre back for him is still a good achievement at this stage of his career, and he may see game time, because we've let Mason and Suleiman go on loan, haven't we? So once you get through those other four centre backs, he's the next one to come in. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way we're looking. I just think we're a right back short in the squad, although Bakuna's doing well at the moment. Possibly a winger and a striker, and I would still take another central midfielder, but I'm probably being a bit greedy, to be fair, with my demands.
Yeah.
What
Any
else we
others?
got? Someone's put something in comments saying it's so big, but I don't know what there's a Warsaw fan, Dan. I'm not sure what he's talking about. Someone's asked us how we think we'll do against Derby.
I think that's a Derby are in transition as much as Villa are at the moment. It seems to be under Pearson.
Yeah, they won last night late on. I didn't realise that until today when I saw a Derby fan at work. I think it might suit us being away for a game, actually. A little bit of, although actually saying that, the atmosphere has been very, very good at Villa Park, and you are starting to see a bit of a connection between the players and the fans. And again, I think a lot of that is down to Tommy Elphick, but I think it's good to see at the moment. I'm actually, the last two games, I've enjoyed being down Villa Park. It's been a good atmosphere, and it's just enjoyable again. Even though we didn't win last night, I was glad they didn't get booed off at the end, because that kind of thing could sometimes happen at Villa Park. But the fans seem to be keen to stick with the players, and that's good. It's a good sign. I think someone said last night on the fan cams that I think Reece said it. I think we're only going to get better as the season goes on. So if you bear that in mind, I think this is actually 4 points isn't a terrible start at all. And I think the performances have probably warranted more points.
Yeah, well, I was gutted to miss it, to be fair, like genuinely gutted to miss it, because everything else, obviously with Daly and Atkins and everything else that goes with that,
yeah,
pretty gutted I missed it. But
well, you might not be getting your fan cams back now. I've been getting rave reviews. No, you can have it.
No, it'll be split.
No. I've got to get back. I have to get back to London quickly. It's better for you to have it.
In fairness, you're stuck in the traffic jam for how long outside Villa Park?
I didn't go until back to London until 1:30. It was a disaster. I needed Jolie and Lescott's car. Couldn't get back quick enough.
A few other questions. I'm just going to go from how do you rate our promotion chances with the current squad? And I personally, I'm going to go and say I'm confident now.
I still say, as it stands, 6th. I think we need a bit. That bench last night isn't strong enough to sustain the whole season. I mean, nothing against Andre Green, because I think he'll turn into a very good player. But if you're bringing him on when you're struggling in the game as your first choice sub, at this point, it's not good. You still there?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, just reading one of the read through the questions that we've got.
Your picture's frozen. You're like a chimpanzee on my picture.
Thanks for that.
With your hand like that.
Is it cleared?
Oh, it's cleared now.
Is that better?
You look normal again now.
Aye.
Yeah.
We've got who do you think we need now from Lisa McClary? Who do you think we actually need, Dan? To me, right back, yes. A lot of rumours about Kieran Trippier today. To me, Kieran Trippier is a huge bet. We've got no chance of getting it. No. But you've got the two ends of the scale with Richard Late and obviously Kieran Trippier. I think we've got more. If we want somebody from Spurs as a fullback, we're going for DeAndre Yedlin to me on loan.
Yeah, I think he'd probably be but he's very rapid, he is. I'm not sure how good he is defensively. But I'm quite happy with Bacuna there. So I've always said, as much as I criticised Bacuna last season because of his attitude, he's way better at right back than he is in midfield. I mean, under Tim Sherwood, he played very well when he came into the side at right back. He got a lot of assists for Benteke. And I'd actually go as far as to say we've got more chance of getting Benteke than we have of getting Kieran Trippier. Yeah, he'd have Premier League interest. He'd go back to Burnley on loan before he'd drop down to the Championship. No way that's going to happen. I don't think.
No, I agree. I think that's actually come from one of these ITK Twitter accounts, and people like the Birmingham Mail have picked it up, and then people have took it literally, as you do.
Well, some of these people are more in the know than them, and I'm not in the know at all. I don't know anything.
No,
so that tells you what you need to know. I reckon you get bits and pieces.
Yeah,
you just keep it to yourself. Don't even tell me and Dan Rolinson.
You do know it, but it's not very interesting stuff. So anyway, is this Ginger Luke Odell? Is that Ginger Luke?
Yeah, I think so.
What do you think
Where is
Jedinak
it?
will bring to midfield and the rest of the team? Do we need any more signings? Luke, we've sort of covered that before. You're a bit late to the
Yes,
party. Go back to the start and you'll see what we discussed about Jedinak. And
I
if we
can't even
need
say that question.
just right
I
at the
hope
top,
Ginger Luke hasn't blocked me. Is it on YouTube or Twitter?
YouTube.
No, I can't see it, but never mind. Oh no, I've got it. I've got it in a funny angle. One of the Palace. Have you seen that one from the Palace fan? I've lost it now.
Oh,
Tom
yeah, I've got it,
Lewis.
yeah. Palace fan
Yeah,
watching. So depressing. Absolute legend. Not the best passer, but will never get bullied off the ball. Great in the air and just a leader. Treat him well. By the way, Bamford was absolutely shocking for Palace. Obviously, it's Championship, not Prem, but it puts in no effort in and was just terrible every game he played for us. Mine's a bit like Gabby Abong.
he defeated him very well last season, by
Yeah.
the sounds of it, Bamford. But I think it sounds like he's coming. I don't know anything, but it sounds like we need another striker, and he would be the logical choice for me. He's under 21 international, isn't he? I don't know if he's under 21 now, but he is an under 21 international.
Yeah, he was, yeah. I think he might be.
He's got semi-decent pedigree. It's good to see the Palace fan putting that though. That is good. It's good when people want you to look after their players that are coming in. It says a lot, and I think we will look after him. We need to get Tom Lewis, if you're still watching, message us in what his chant is. We need some chants.
Yeah, we do need new chants.
New
Fed
players.
up of the usual lines.
There's nothing going down chant-wise at the moment. We need to do the. I'm not going to sing it because I don't want to humiliate myself. But the song we used to sing for Andy Vyman, we need to do that for Ross McCormack. It fits in. The Luis Suarez one, we need to do that for Ross McCormack. It fits in. Yeah, there needs to be some more chants. We're a bit low on chants at the moment for players, I think. Yeah, there's only Super Jack and Rudy, and I think that's it.
Super Jack can get a bit boring.
And of course, there's the Alan Hutton chant as well. I don't really sing that. I just turn around and look at the people that are singing it, like Murph on Twitter.
Oh, he loves Alan Hutton. Don't know why.
I know he does. I'm sure he's all right, really.
Yeah,
just not a very good footballer.
This one, obviously, I know where this one's going. Paul Marhush has said, "Are we still owe Benteke money?" I assume
Probably.
so. And that's probably why Liverpool want 32.5 million back for him, because they probably owe Villa. I'm sure Red they owe us at least 50 million. I don't quote me on that. I don't actually know exactly, but I'm sure we owe a fair bit of money still for him. There's no way
probably still owed money from Downey.
Probably, yeah.
Genuinely are probably still owed money from Downey. I would have thought.
Yeah.
They owe some serious money, but Benteke wouldn't come anyway.
No way.
Premier League player.
Yeah.
Too good, probably too good for Palace, but that's where he'll end up because his stock's fallen pretty low being at Liverpool. But he is a lot better than he's given credit for. Better footballer than he's given credit for.
Some Jack Bradbury said, "What do you think about McCormack on set pieces?"
I'm quite happy with his deliveries so far. I like the way he whips the ball, and I think McCormack is not fully fit still. I mean, he's been taken off every game. He's not fit. We're building him up slowly, and we're building him up by playing, which is probably the right thing to do. I think it's good that he got off the mark last night before that became. I think Greg Evans said it would be good to get him off the mark before it became an issue or something that was written about in the press. So it's good to see him get off the mark. But I think more goals will come as he gets fitter, and I think the only way he's going to get fitter is by obviously starting the games. And obviously, if you spend £12 million on a player, he's going to be a starter, especially in the Championship.
So we're going to have 3 more questions. I've got 2 of them. The final question I'm going to pick from the comments or on Twitter at @TheVillaView_. To make sure you make your comments in. So I've got 2 more, and then I'm going to go with the final question so we can wrap it up. Because then we've outdone the whole Jedinak reaction. Dominic Hustler, even, on Twitter, said, "Are we giving Gleamy benefit of the doubt and using De Gea's wobbly start at Man United as a cursor?"
I am, because I've just done a blog about it that's just gone up on the Birmingham Mail website. I think we've got to give him a chance. I think that's a little one. Just go on the Birmingham Mail website, you'll see it. I think that he does look a very good keeper to me. I mean, I think his biggest, I don't want to give away everything I've wrote, but I think the biggest criticism I can have of him so far is that he's very fucking, he's very unfortunate. He's very unlucky. I think both goals, I mean, the one against Sheffield Wednesday, I think a lot of stuff happened after that with the ricochets and it ended up being through on goal. And I think last night, 9 times out of 10, that doesn't happen. It could have literally gone anywhere, but it ends up going in the back of the net. But I think his overall performance last night was really good. I think he relieved the pressure on us a few times, and I think he made some smart stops. And I thought we'd ridden the storm. That was the only annoying thing. I mean, someone said to me earlier, I don't know whether he was joking, texted me saying, "Oh, Galini's just like Guzan," but let's face it, Guzan would have kicked it into his own goal last night himself.
He wouldn't have saved the free kick, I don't think.
Well, no, Galini didn't save it. He hit the one.
No, it wasn't a free kick. What was it?
There's a bicycle kick.
There was the bicycle kick. Yeah, that was the one.
Yeah, that was a good save. I think we've got a good goalkeeper. He is young and he is learning on the job. We've got to give him a bit of time. But the last thing he will need is the Villa fans to be antsy with him when he's coming to get the ball and the Villa fans are getting his back. That's not needed. We need to stay behind him and we need to stay with the team at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. Next question that we have got is Scott Ravenhill, who said, look at this general comment, McCormack's set piece have been poor. I actually disagree a lot with that. I think our corners, we've had a lot more chances already from them, and I can't remember which goal it was. Maybe been our first? Can't remember which goal it was anyway. But one of our goals so far this season that we've scored has come from a corner originally. Might have been Gusted's first, actually. I think that originally came from a corner that was played out and then we built it back in. I think
Ayew against Luton as well came from a corner, I think.
Yeah. I think we're causing problems with corners at the moment. So
I think I like the way he whips the ball in. I think, although they've sometimes been a bit hit and miss at the moment, I think he will come good with that delivery, and I think it's a dangerous delivery, and his delivery's proven. I think he got a lot of assists last year. His delivery's proven, so I'd say stick with him because we've got, as much as I like Westwood, we don't want him on corners.
What was it? I think it was 21 goals last season for McCormack and 11 assists. So not bad going at all, really, is it?
No, I'll take it. I'll take that this season.
Yeah, definitely. Just had a question, just saw it pop through my phone. Let's go into it. There's a Jedinak chant.
What is it? Sing it to me, Matt.
Nah.
Yeah, I heard it.
That one.
Is that the Darren Bent one? Was it Darren Bent? Yeah.
Yeah. I think that might be that one.
Happy with that. It's a chance. We need chance. We need more chance.
I think this is quite a poignant note I think we should end on. This is from Sam Ayres, who said, what did you think about the Atkinson tribute yesterday? Dan, you was there.
Yeah, emotional. I mean, I was pretty young. I was only about 7 when, I think it was one of the first years I had a season. I was 6 or 7 anyway when Atkinson was playing. And my earliest memories of Villa are him and Dean Saunders playing together up front, and 9 times out of 10, one of them would score. I mean, it's sad to see anyone die, and obviously the way he's died, we don't fully know what's happened, but it sounds like a bit of a disaster. But it's just horrible to see someone who did so much for Villa and achieved a lot for the club to die so young. I mean, he's only 48. That's no age to die at all. And I think he's one of the truly iconic figures of Aston Villa through the Premier League. I mean, you see that the umbrella celebration. I thought it was a nice touch by the club last night, having the umbrellas across the. I don't know if it was all around the ground, but it was definitely across the front of the hall. There, some people come out with the umbrellas like that. It was a really good tribute. I thought. I mean, obviously it would have been nice to get everyone in with umbrellas, but I think probably the health and safety bods don't like that. But he achieved a lot with Villa, and the thing is, he was a role model to a lot of people, and he brought smiles to a lot of Villa fans' faces. So definitely tragic that he's gone, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of Villa fans very, very sad, and I'm sure there was a few tears last night in the whole end. So yeah, I'm just sorry that it's happened.
Yeah, I think that I agree. I was shocked when it happened, and obviously I'm not going to make a comment either way at the moment. We don't know what's happened. I think a lot of fans have got to remember that we don't know what's happened, so you can't be taking sides at this stage. It's quite easy to do that, I must say, but I don't think you can do it at this stage. I know there's different reports coming out left, right and centre. I think we just have to wait and find out and let the police do what they've got to do, let everyone else do what they've got to do for it, and we just remember Dalian Atkinson for how great he was for us, and I think that's the best thing we can do for somebody that was great. There's quite a good tribute video that we did put out that is on the Villa View YouTube, if you haven't seen it already, of Dalian Atkinson scoring goals as he does. So make sure you go and check that out, because it is a brilliant watch, and it is quite touching as well, because obviously he was such an impressive player for us, and so on and so forth. All the questions that are left, we will be commenting below in the comment section below afterwards to make sure all your questions have been answered. Dan, thank you for joining me. You can go and enjoy your Foster's Gold.
It's nearly finished, but thank you. I'm going to get some food. Put a
Make sure
shrimp on the barber.
do it in the Australian accent, and I might
I can't.
lose.
No accent. Can't do it. I'm not going to
Forget it.
try.
Forget it. Let down.
Yeah.
So, if you did
Right.
enjoy our reactions to Amelia Jedinak and everything else, make sure you're dropping us a like below and make sure you're subscribing. Thank you to everyone that has subscribed if you have already. We're over 3,000 subscribers now, 3,160 at this moment in time, which is an incredible achievement after so many months. There is a competition upcoming very soon, which I believe Dan Bardell knows a lot more about than I do. That'd be a brilliant competition that is upcoming. But for now, that is all for the Villa View, and thanks for joining us for our Amelia Jedinak reactions.